Hey, Deja Green. Is there a topic that I don't know exists? There usually is something I don't know. My wife tells me every day there's a lot that I don't know. Hold on. My camera is. Hold on. I have no idea how this camera gets dirty. Ooh, I ordered a here, I'll show you guys something. I'm actually starting a podcast probably this week. I have my website's almost done. I'll show you. Hold on. Boop. Look at that. MV7. Sure, I think it's what it's called. It's an official podcast microphone. Look at that. Pretty fancy. Janet Mills is a dinosaur. Hey, Sarge. Yeah, Janet Mills is a joke. She's handpicked by Chuck Schumer because he's an old fart too. And I had this conversation with somebody last week. And I'm going to keep doing it. The Democratic Party itself as a whole sucks. It has no backbone. They didn't stand up when he called a woman piggy. They're not going to stand up when he insults this guy. The only thing they're doing is Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. That's great. Good for you. What else are you doing? Nothing. Because they don't have leadership. They don't. Before I talked about the school shooting, I wanted to talk about this tweet that the rapist in the White House put out. It's just vile. Hold on. Let me find it now. I had it. Where'd it go? Now, this is the leader of this country. The person, before I read this is the person that Jesus sent here to save us from the Democrats, from the radical left. Remember that. Where is it? A very sad thing happened last night in Hollywood. Rob Reiner, a tortured and struggling but once very talented movie director and comedy star, has passed away, together with his wife, Michelle. Reportedly, due to the anger he caused others through his massive, unyielding, and incurable affliction with a mind-crippling disease known as Trump derangement syndrome, sometimes referred to as TDS. He was known to have driven people crazy by his raging obsession with President Donald Trump. What kind of a dumbass refers to himself in the third person? With his obvious paranoia reaching new heights as the Trump administration surpassed all goals and expectations of greatness with the golden age of America upon us, perhaps like never before. May Rob and Michelle rest in peace. The only golden age is him probably peeing on his wife. He's a disgusting human being. And we have to stop saying that this is not who we are. Yes, it is. This is who we are. 77 million people, friends, family, and brother-in-laws, voted for a rapist. They voted for a pedophile. They voted for a convicted felon who led to the death of 5 officers while our Capitol was being attacked. This is who we are. And we have to stop saying it's not, because it is. This is who we are. We keep saying this. We are a racist country. We are a misogynistic country. This is their version of Christianity. This is it. They're fine with this. But they can't vote for Pete Buttigieg because it's outside of God's design to vote for a gay person. This is who we are as a society. How is chewing on Trump taint 24/7? I don't know what you're talking about, Para. I'm sorry. Para, whatever. Donald Trump is not what's wrong with this country. The people that vote for him, the people that support him, and the people that sit silently. Yeah, I did see that, Bobo. I don't know if I didn't have that one pulled up. Basically, there was and I want to talk about that next. It was what the rapist president said, the orange piggy. Was the shooting? It was yesterday? No, that was. Hold on. Sorry, I didn't have it pulled up. Let's see. Okay. Well, this is the first thing here. This is the first stupid thing. Look. I've been briefed on the shooting that took place at Brown University, Rhode Island. The FBI is on the scene. The suspect is in custody. No, he's not. Nobody's been arrested. The person 2 days later is still at large. What in the hell is he talking about? And what does God bless the victims? Well, I just want to know, what does that mean? We just had 2 people die from gun violence again. What do we hear? Thoughts and prayers, thoughts and prayers, thoughts and prayers. What does that mean? It means I'm not going to do anything because I'm unwilling to sacrifice a piece of metal or a waiting period or safe gun storage or a background check just to keep children safe. Here, I'll put up my there it is. Yeah. Are you gonna this is everybody with gold crosses, and I don't even own the gold cross, say, I'm pro-life, I'm pro-life, I'm pro-life. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're pro-gun. You don't give a damn about people's lives. The only thing you care about is no tax on overtime and no tax on tips and being a racist. The brown people, the brown people, the brown people. What would Jesus do? You think Jesus would sit around while 40,000 people die from gun violence? No. Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers. Cool. You see this cup? Let's say that it's empty. Let's all pray for this cup of water to fill up with this empty cup to fill up with water. Jesus, please fill up this cup of water. I'm praying really hard, Lord. I really believe in you, God. I believe that you can fill up this cup of water. Well, crap. It's still empty. Damn it. I guess prayer doesn't work. Oh, or maybe I have to go fill it up with water myself. Just a thought. I have a chat mod. Sarge, you're in here, right? Thank you. Yeah, I got a mod. I got Hellhound in here. He's a mod. But just, think about this, and this is what drives me nuts, which is why I started doing this on social media. These people say that they follow Jesus, and I don't care if you're an atheist, if you worship a grasshopper, as long as you're happy, You live your life the way you want. That's what I believe. Free will is your free will to live your life the way you want. But these people believe that Jesus put the guards ear back on. He literally gave his life so we could be free. But somehow, passing gun reform is just a bridge too far. Explain to me what Jesus thinks about that. Because I want to know. How is that a bridge too far? These people are going to go up to heaven one day and stand there with their AK-47s and their 6 hours and their samurai swords. Hey, Deja Green. And God's going to say, who are you? Well, God, look at me. I got 48 flags. I'm a patriot. I got guns. Yeah, I got guns because I'm a real man. I'm ready for heaven. He's like, I don't know you. Who are you? I asked you to love thy neighbor as thyself. And all you gave a crap about was a piece of metal. What are you going to tell me? Hey, look, here's the children from Sandy Hook, from Parkland, from Uvalde, from the Las Vegas shooting. Oh, look, here's the dead officers from January 6th and the 7-year-olds at the Catholic Church. What did you do to stop those? Well, Jesus, nothing. But I took the tampons out of the bathrooms, Jesus. Oh, look, Jesus. I'm here with Riley Gaines, the loser. Jesus, I spent my whole life being a grifter because I finished 6th place and not 5th place. But what did you do about the dead children? There's nothing I can do, God. But it's not fair that I finished 6th place and not 5th place. I mean, just think about this stupidity. Because it is. It's stupidity. We got 14 million kids that go to school hungry, 42 million people that need our tax dollars just to eat. We have over 40,000 people die every year from gun violence. We got women dying in Texas right now, an increased rate of 56% because Roe versus Wade was overturned. 2/3 of this country live paycheck to paycheck. And you're worried about tampons in goddamn bathrooms. Are you kidding me? Are you out of your damn minds? But let's put the 10 Commandments on the wall. What's that going to do? What is that going to do? You think people that are doing shootings are going to stop and say, oh, well, I'm not going to shoot up this school because it has the 10 Commandments? I would guarantee you half of the men that do gun violence are probably Christians or identify as a Christian. It's like me wearing this 49er hat, right? Oh, look, I'm the quarterback for the 49ers because I have a 49er hat. That's the same thing as saying because I own a gold cross that I'm a Christian. Faith without works is dead. And that's what these people are. They're jokes. Erica Kirk is nothing more than a modern day Tammy Faye Baker. She's a clown. She is an absolute clown. It's a joke. This clip from her. Hold on. It was what was her name? Let me see if I can find the one. Here it is. Hold on.
I appreciate your question.
Shut the hell up. I appreciate your question.
You know my heart. Why would I ever say, go murder people? Courtney. This is so much deeper than just one. I understand your sentiment. I do. But this is also so much deeper than just one person.
Oh, yeah?
This starts at the home, okay? This starts with family. This starts with a seed that grows and grows. You can choose to have evil in your heart, or you can choose to have light. What you consume and what you absorb from the outside world will manifest itself.
What in the fuck are you talking about, you twit? What is she talking about? He asked her to denounce what Donald Trump is saying, that he asked for the execution of 7 Democratic senators. And this fake ass Christian, well, it starts in the house. When I go to Pilates, I don't give my children an iPad. Shut the hell up. This woman right here, or whatever she identifies as, with her weird ass Christian eyes and her fake ass gold cross, voted for a president who is an adjudicated rapist, who is a felon, who sexually assaulted 25 women, who very likely molested 13-year-old girls on Epstein Island, who caused an insurrection, who joked about John McCain, that he's not a hero, made fun of disabled people, grabbed woman by the PUSSY. And she wants to pivot to some bullshit white nationalism because that's what this is about. It's a show. It's a sham. Just like Donald Trump is a joke, so is she. I'm sorry your husband's not here, but you know what? Your husband said that it was worth the cost of dead Americans for the Second Amendment. That's what your husband said. And then she goes into her white Tammy Faye Baker, Carrie Lake Christianity, right? And she gets the lighting right. And she does her makeup right. And she stares up into the stars for 5.318 seconds. And then she pauses. And then she wipes a tear on her eye. And then she speaks in the same monotone voice. And she talks about something completely unrelated. And they use keywords, right? Family, traditional family. I understand your sentiment, where she pretends to give a crap about anything that he's saying. But she voted for an adjudicated rapist. You and your gold cross. People like her is why I do this. And people may not like my language. You know what? That's okay. But it's because I care. I have women in my life, an aunt that was a victim of assault. And people like this white nationalist didn't give a shit because she wanted to wave a Bible and talk about abortion, 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 bullshit. She didn't care about the officers on January 6th that died. She didn't care about the woman dying in Texas for lack of health care. She didn't care about Amber Thurman. She didn't care about Adriana Smith. She didn't talk about George Floyd. She didn't talk about Ahmaud Arbery. She didn't say a goddamn thing until the darkness came to her door. Her white privilege got shit on. And now she cares. Now she's the victim. That's where we are. That's why so many people, primarily, not all, primarily that look like me, are upset about the racist podcaster. They thought everybody else would be the victim. The brown people, the black people, the immigrants, the minorities, the Asians. They thought that their privilege would be safe from the darkness. And the moment it came to her front door, she went back to her fake white Jesus. Faith without works is dead. Erica Kirk, you and Satan both believe in God. You both memorize Bible verses, and neither one of you follow him. When she says traditional family values, she means white, 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 white. Her husband talked about the great white replacement theory. If the pilot's not black, how do I know if you're qualified? How do I know that you're qualified to be a Christian just because you own the gold cross? He asked for the execution of Joe Biden. He joked about gay people being thrown out of buildings in Gaza, then joked there was no buildings. This is who her husband was. Now, if that's Christianity, then I don't want any part of it. But this is it's all a circus. It's used to gin up their racist, uneducated white base. I'll pull up the clip. Watch. Watch.
Now, we must also be real.
His wife, or whatever she is, said, "Oh, you're taking it out of context, so we're going to listen to the whole." Don't take my word for it.
You must be honest with the population.
Mm-hmm.
Having and that is part of liberty. Comes with a price. 50,000 people die on the road every year. That's a price.
People voluntarily dying in car accidents is not the same thing as people getting shot in schools. That's a disgusting thing to say.
You get rid of driving, you'd have 50,000 less auto fatalities.
Jesus Christ.
But we have decided that the benefit of driving, speed, accessibility, mobility, having products, services, is worth the cost of 50,000 people dying on the road. Wow. So we need to be very clear that you're not going to get gun deaths to zero. It will not happen. Right. You can significantly reduce them through having more fathers in the home, by having more armed guards in front of schools.
So he's blaming gun deaths on people that don't have fathers. Oh, okay. Sure.
We should have an honest and clear reductionist view of gun violence, but we should not have a utopian one. You will never live in a society when you have an armed citizenry and you won't have a single gun death. That is nonsense. It's drivel. Wow. But I think it's worth it. I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year, so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights. That is a prudent deal. It is rational. Nobody talks like this.
Erica, that's not what he said. That's bullshit. Shove your cross. I don't care. It sucks about your husband. But 41,000 people died last year from gun violence, and all you gave them was your fake-ass Christian tears. He just said that it is worth dead Americans for your God-given right. Did Jesus write the Second Amendment? Did Jesus write the Constitution? Is Jesus president? No. Racist white men did that. But this goes back to the same thing. Again and again and again and again and again. God, 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 Jesus, Jesus, God, God. So let's look at Charlie Kirk's Christian Nation. Let's look at it really quick. So 1.4 million African Americans died on slave ships in the Middle Passage because white men, like his ancestors, were too lazy to do their own jobs. When we came here, there was 50 million Native Americans. As of 1900, there's about 200,000 Native Americans because we brought disease and we murdered a lot of them. Oh, sorry. I don't know why there was lag. Maybe it's because I played something. I'm on the Wi-Fi. Well, I'm going to tell you why, right? Over 8,000 people were dead from lynchings. The 3/5 clause, this great Christian nation said black people were only worth 3/5 of a white man in this Christian nation. Only 21-year-old landowning white men can have rights in this Christian nation. Almost 2,000 Asian Americans died in internment camps in this Christian nation. 41,000 people die in this country every year in this Christian nation. 18,000 Native Americans died on the Trail of Tears in this Christian nation. And now we have a rapist in the White House in this Christian nation because God wanted a white man. The reason that people pay him attention is because their white privilege was affected for once in their miserable lives. How did they react when the orange piggy's ear got hurt? They put tampons on their ears with duct tape. They wore garbage bags because they're trash. They yelled, they screamed, they're angry, they want to get in confrontation. They're coming for you, they're coming for you. Your America's going away. The white America's going away. They only care when something affects their privilege and their white way of life. That's why they care about him. It's not him that they care for. It's what he symbolizes. It's the white male patriarchy. That is who he spoke to. Young, insecure white men who were told that their job is to be the man of the house and to rule with an iron fist over his wife. That somehow she's subservient to him and her job is to make babies and to sit at home and do all this other nonsense. That is how they view women. When he sees women in leadership, it scares him. And it scares these Pharisees, these fake Christians. We have 50% of this country are women, and we haven't had a woman president. Why? Misogyny. Because of people like this. People like Rush Limbaugh. People like the orange pig in the White House. He's calling women piggy. He's an adjudicated rapist. He's assaulted 25 women. He cheated on every wife. Pete Hegseth had a daughter out of wedlock because he cheated on all of his wives. RFK's first wife had so many affairs that she took her own life, sadly, from the trauma. Donald Trump nominated Matt Gaetz, who had sex with a minor. Praise Jesus. Nothing but the best. But you can't vote for the black woman. That's just a bridge too far. My friends, we can ignore this all we want. This is why we're here. It just is. They don't want a white minority. It scares the hell out of them. In the Appalachian Mountains right now, there's a whites only town. Is it Appalachians? Hold on. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, here it is. Is this it? Oh, that was Arkansas. It is.
Thousands of people have been working hard, building houses and a new type of community. It's called Return to the Land, and it is a town open to white people only. They are millennials and Gen Z, and this is a new update of age-old prejudice.
What we've done here is establish a place
Arkansas,
where we have
sorry, you're right,
control
Arkansas.
over who our neighbors are, and that is just for the sake of preserving, our culture.
And that culture, effectively, we're saying this is a white culture, a whites-only place.
White American culture.
But what this sounds like is bringing back segregation. Is that a fair assessment?
It's free association. So we're not trying to keep other people down. This is a small settlement in the middle of the Ozarks.
But they are being kept out, even if...
You don't let everyone into your home.
Around 40 people live here. Hundreds more from across the world have paid to be members. And while the men do the physical labor, the women take care of the children who live here full time. It could be a very loving community.
See? The women will take care of the children. This is what they want. This is Christian nationalism. It has nothing to do with God or Jesus or faith. It's control. That's it. It's control. They want to control who gay people can marry, who you can love, what God to worship, what jobs women can do. They want to tell black people you can't fly an airline. Donald Trump took the history of slavery out of the Smithsonian. Pete Hegseth gave medals to the white soldiers that murdered the Lakota at the Battle of Wounded Knee from 1890. Why? Because they were white. And the vast majority of those people were innocent women and children that are buried in the dirt. Why are we putting up monuments of Robert E. Lee, who fought to keep black people as slaves? Why are they demonizing immigrants? It's white supremacy. Thank you, Butterfly. This is why we're here. Have you seen his administration? It's 50 Shades of White. Hold on. It was Trump. I think it was like what was that, a prayer breakfast? Hold on, let me find it. Yeah, here it is. Hold on. White. Every single one of them. That is, guys, this is not a bug, it's a feature. You want to know why people like Byron Donalds are on board with this? I'll give you my opinion. Proximity to whiteness. They think that if they kiss up to the plantation owner, that he's going to let him stay in their guest house. That's why, on some level, and everyone's not a monolith, that some Latinos, some black people, primarily black men, the 92% are too damn smart. They want no part of this dumpster fire because they're smart. This is why, people. It just is. They think that if they're close to whiteness, that they're going to be looked at differently. What did you see with Latinos for Trump? Now they're getting deported. Oh, I thought I was close to whiteness. I thought I would be safe. You were just a token. You were a vote. And now they threw you out. In Minnesota, the Somalians for Trump. We want cheap gas because we're stupid. Now what's happening? Now he's degrading them. Now he's telling them to leave. He got their vote. Tokens. Again and again and again and again. Friends, I'm telling you, that's why we're here. I have a lot of conversation on TikTok with the 92%. Listen to them. You want some of the smartest people you're ever going to meet? Go listen to black women. You want to learn something? You want to get smarter? Don't listen to me. Listen to them. They know what's up. There's just some guys that are just dumb. And a lot of them got a stimulus check. They don't even realize it was passed by Congress, but they're so stupid because his name was on it. They're like, oh my God, he cares about me. He doesn't give a shit about you. And he's going to do the same thing with the tariffs. Oh, it's a tariff stimulus. No, it's not. It's a refund, you morons. You and I paid more for tariffs on all the goods. And all that money that we paid is going to come back. That's not a stimulus. That's called a goddamn refund, morons. But people are going to say, oh my God, he's so smart. How did he do this? Joe Biden didn't do this. Well, that's because Joe Biden did put tariffs on. Tandrick says we have a stigma. But Tandick, you're not wrong. Because people have treated white people like absolute shit since the inception. And there's too many white people that want everybody that's not white to just act like, oh, why are you angry? Oh, why are you upset? Because we've treated you and your mom, your grandparents, your great-grandparents like absolute dog shit. You should be angry. You should be pissed off. There was a video after, what was it called? It was after the George Floyd protest. Hold on. It was like a 7-Eleven owner? It was an Indian gentleman. Let me see if I can find it really quick. Hold on. He owned a small business. I don't see it here. But basically, he said, look, does it suck that my business was destroyed? Yeah, I wish it wouldn't happen. But he said, but if it's going to change this country and me and my business being destroyed is going to stop treating black people like this, then I'm for it. He got the point. I just can't find it. It was after. Let me see if I can find it here. I don't know if I can find it. I can't. If I find it, I'll share it next time. I can't find it right now, but that's what it was. But look at how the people on the right reacted to George Floyd, right? They didn't give a crap about the white cop. You got people like Ben Shapiro that want to pardon him because he's a dumbass. Because he's feeding into his white base of concepts of brains. What did they focus on? The 7% of bad stuff. And some of those were like the umbrella man that was a white cop. Because it lets their base be angry and pissed off about something. Lincoln Riley, or Riley Gaines. Oh no, I finished 6th place because I'm a loser, not 5th. Her entire platform is being a bigot because she didn't finish 5th place. Jillian Michaels, the same thing. Trans people and tampons, day after day after day after day. This is what they do. They're scaring people to think that their version of America is going away. And in this last election, the orange pig in the White House blamed immigrants for their life. Not the rich people that are screwing us, the immigrants. Walmart is the largest employer with about 1.7 million employees in this country. 15,000 get government assistance. Why? Because Walmart doesn't pay them enough. What the hell does that have to do with immigrants? Nothing. 3 people own half the wealth in this country. What does that have to do with immigrants? Nothing. 42,000 people die from gun violence. The vast majority are U.S. citizen white men. Those aren't immigrants. January 6th, white men, they're not immigrants. The guy in the White House, the rapist, he's not an immigrant. Where is all this mysterious destruction of America? But what they do is they take something like Lincoln Riley, that's a white girl and an undocumented brown person. They take that one needle out of 41,000 and they scare the white people and they say, look, here's a brown person that did something bad. Ooh, scary. That's what they do. And they did the same thing on January 6th. They picked that one white girl that refused to listen to orders and she lost her life. And they made her out to be the victim. She tried to go into the rotundum. And they tokenized her, right? And that's why they did the same thing with Charlie Kirk. They need to be the victim of something. I'm going to say that as a white person. When you're a white person, especially in the South, and you're very dumb, because they're not very educated. And all you see, and I have family in Indiana because my dad grew up in Terre Haute, is white. And all you hear is propaganda in the Bible Belt, which means nothing. It just means that they own Bibles. Doesn't mean they're people of faith. Just like this doesn't mean I'm a 49er quarterback. And you see people like Ilhan Omar or Harris, a black woman, as vice president, or AOC in leadership. It scares them. Their version of the same old white man is starting to change, and it scares the shit out of them. And they're holding on to it with every breath of their body. They will not go silently into the night. They won't. They're eating the dogs and cats. And when you look all over the country, you see these white nationalists doing these rallies. Why? Some of the cops are friends with them. They know who they are. Very fine people on both sides. Over 200 citizens have been arrested by ICE because they didn't look white enough. They're racially profiling people because the Supreme Court is an extension of the executive branch. It's racism, people. It just is. Go look at the demographics in the Trump election with Harris. Joe Biden won, barely. But the only demographic that didn't vote for Harris as a majority was white people. Zoran Mamdani, white people. Now, the younger generation voted for him, but the old crusty white people wanted to stay with white America. And when you see Andy Ogles posting pictures of 9/11, airplanes crash again, during the election of Zoran Mamdani, that's anti-Semitism. He is making an assumption because Zoran Mamdani is not white, that somehow, just because of the color of his skin, that he's a terrorist. It's straight up racism. That's what it is. So does that mean that white people shouldn't go to England because they're insurrectionists after January 6th? Huh. But that's the logic. Thank you, Stephen. Yeah, I don't have any problem with her as a person. I don't know about her and I don't care. But we have serious problems in this country, and we have a bunch of grifting people that are, oh, what did she say to Candace Owens? I don't give a damn. I don't want people shot in schools. I don't want people living on the streets. I don't want people being afraid of where their next meal's coming from. I don't give two shits about Candace Owens. She's a grifter. Okay? Candace Owens is a grifter, and she knows it. She's a lot of things. Dumb is not one of them. She knows exactly what she's doing. When you talk into a lot of stupid people, they listen. And she reaches into their confirmation bias. She was MAGA. She voted for Trump because Candace Owens wasn't going to vote for the black woman. I'm just being 100. She's after money. She's a grifter. It's all about money. Same thing with the Midas touch, with the Pod Save America. If we're not talking about why we're actually here, then it's a grift. It is. It had nothing to do with the price of eggs. One of these days, I got to find that clip with Pod Save America and Simone Sanders. I cannot find it. Let's see. Hold on, let me find it. Give me 1 second here. Sorry. I usually have these pulled up. I was running a little late today. I had to go to Costco this morning. It was on stage. Let's see. Give me 1 second here. Sorry. It must have been crazy Costco. Yeah, there was never any Humpty nor Dumpty. It was never about eggs. It was about racism. Because now that eggs have gone up, well, just give them a couple of years. Oh, it'll be fine. Oh, hold on. I found it. Here it is. All right, here. I found it. Finally. Hold on.
But I guess, yes, I do think candidates have to be, you got to run for your district. You got to run for the race that you're in. As a, you know, I'm a Black woman from the Midwest every day, everywhere I go. Okay. I live in Washington, D.C., but I'm Black and I'm bald. So there are some things I think I hear when these conversations come up, and I've said in strategist rooms when they've come up on campaigns I've worked on, and I hear them on the sets and the commercial breaks when we have some of these candidates on our show. It feels like to some people that look like me that the people within the party apparatus want folks to compromise on issues that for me are uncompromisable.
Mhm.
When folks say that. And so, like, I do think that if the party is like, look, I think the answer is people need to run for the race that they're in. Okay, well, what does that mean? Does that mean because let's be very clear, Donald Trump and the Republicans, they aren't looking for a big tent. They're like, mass deportation, F you, look at my one good Black person, shithole countries in Africa, all the brown people need to be deported. Women got blood coming down their eyes, but like, yay, we're going back to a meritocracy, and that means only white men. Like, hold on, what? But they were winning. And so they didn't win because they opened up the aperture and let people do what they need to do. They won because they tripled down on what they believe, even if what they believe.
Right. That's just not. I'm sorry. That sounds good, and I like it. I want it to be right. It's just not right.
They didn't win because they tripled down on what they believe.
No, they did triple down on what they believe.
Yes, they tripled down on racism.
Yeah,
it was populism, but populism is a thin ideology mixed with the thick, according to Cass Mudd.
Simone,
His populism had a lot of things in it. Was an economic populist, but populism had a little white supremacy in it, a little racism, in a different way than Donald Trump.
Yeah. I just say really quick though. Here's the thing. Like, yeah, he doubled down on a bunch of terrible shit that they believe that's extreme. No, he also was seen as left of Kamala. He was seen as an anti-war candidate. He was seen as anti the Republican establishment.
See? He doesn't want to admit it. They don't want to have that. He didn't even say it was racism. Oh, she's 100% right. He doesn't want to listen to the 92%. He wants to say what he believes is right. She's telling him exactly what he doesn't want to hear. It was the racism. And the white man goes, no, that's not what it was. So these people, so this is what he's saying. The people went to the voting booth not because they were against a Black woman, but because the rapist, pedophile, convicted felon who caused an insurrection added $8 trillion to the debt with 3 failed marriages, now 2 failed bankruptcies, made fun of disabled people. They said, yep, I don't like her policies, so I'm going to vote for that. Because he's the anti-war because my price of eggs are too expensive. It's bullshit. It just is. And the Democratic Party doesn't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. But that's why we're still here. That's why we haven't had a woman president. People like him want to sit in their white bubbles and talk about a bunch of baloney. Talk about numbers and polls. It's crap. They didn't want a Black woman. And I just don't understand he is like a Democratic shill, in my opinion. He is what's wrong with the Democratic, and I'm not a Democrat, I'm an independent. But he doesn't want to admit why we're here. Go talk to any of the 92%. Go talk to anybody that doesn't look like me that has a working brain that's not MAGA. And they will tell you that it was racism and misogyny. Yeah, Steve, I talked about that comment about Rob Reiner when I first started the live. It's disgusting. Look, Donald Trump is just a horrible human being. And we keep saying, that's not who we are. That's not who we are. Yes, it is. That's why I wanted to play this clip. Because this bro is saying, that's not who we are. That's not who we are. And Simone Sanders is saying, it is who we are. It's who we've always been. But you white people don't want to have that conversation. And he doesn't. He wants to talk about something sexy so he can get on a podcast with his bros and grift, so you have to pay for a subscription. One of my favorite quotes from Martin Luther King: a leader is not a searcher of consensus, they're a molder of consensus. Simone Sanders is telling you what the problem is. She is being a molder of consensus. He, the bro, is being a searcher of consensus. He is telling people what they want to believe. And we do this again and again and again and again and again. And that's why we're here, because we keep ignoring the snake in the room. It was, hold on. I think I played one clip. Oh. Eddie, that's what it was. Eddie, hold on. Hold on one sec, sorry. Trump said something disgusting. I don't know about Janet Mills. I don't care. She's 8,000 years old. It's just hold on, sorry. Hold on, sorry. Here it is. This is Eddie. I might have played this last week, and if I did, I apologize.
It's not about race. When people knew, social scientists were already writing that what was driving the Tea Party were anxieties about demographic shifts. It was changing, that they were seeing these racially ambiguous babies on Cheerios commercials, that the country wasn't quite feeling like it was a white nation anymore. And people were screaming from the top of their lungs, yo, this is not just simply economic populism. This is the ugly underbelly of the country. See, the thing is this, and I'll say this and I'll take the hit on it. There are communities that have had to bear the brunt of America confronting, white Americans confronting the danger of their innocence. Mm-hmm. And it happens every generation. So somehow we have to kind of, oh my God, is this who we are? And just again, here's another generation of babies. Think about it. That 2-year-old had his bones broken by two parents trying to shield him from being killed. A woman who has been married to this man for as long as I've been on the planet almost, lost her husband. For what? And so what we know is that the country has been playing politics for a long time on this hatred. We know this. Mm-hmm. So it's easy for us to place it all on Donald Trump's shoulders. It's easy for us to place Pittsburgh on his shoulders. It's easy for me to place Charlottesville on his shoulders. It's easy for us to place El Paso on his shoulders. This is us. And if we're going to get past this, we can't blame it on him.
Nope.
He's a manifestation of the ugliness that's in us. I've had the privilege of growing up in a tradition that didn't believe in the myths and the legends because we had to bear the brunt of them. Either we're going to change, Nicole, or we're going to do this again and again, and babies are going to have to grow up.
That's why I do this. He's right. He's 1,000% right. Let me pull up my thumbnail. Hold on. There's a thumbnail I want to show you. What the hell's going on here? What the hell? He's not wrong. We keep ignoring it. No, that's not it. Oh, no, that's not it. Oh, no, it's the price of eggs. Oh, no, he's about no wars. Oh, no, he didn't say that. Oh, no, I didn't vote for that. You did vote for it. It's who we are, and we keep saying it's not. We're in denial. Hold on. Where is that one I made? It was a black light. Where is it? Well, poop. I had it somewhere. I'll have to find it next time. It was basically how Trump is a black light on this country. The racism. Where is it? Huh. I'll find it somewhere. I had it. Sorry, give me 1 sec. It's got to be here somewhere. Black line. Where is it? Hold on. Well, I don't think I deleted it. Maybe I did. Yeah, I'll find it. But basically, it's a black light, right? The racism, the misogyny, the sexism, it's all there. But when you take the black light, it's like when you go into a hotel room. Those stains weren't there before you got there. You just didn't see them. And Professor Glott is right. And I've reached out to him a couple times to see if I can interview him. Donald Trump is a symptom of this country. 77 million people voted for a rapist and a white supremacist. You can call him the grand wizard of the Republican Party. That's what they wanted. They did vote for it. They just thought that their whiteness would keep them safe from the darkness. Yeah, I agree, Extreme. I've always believed that most people are inherently good. But here's the problem. Okay? This is part of the reason we're here. I've talked to people, and I know people in my life that have friends that voted for him. And they're unwilling to have a conversation with them because they don't want to jeopardize their friendship. That is white privilege. You have the privilege of ignoring it because it's not affecting you. I love the No Kings protest. But let's also keep on 100. We protested in April, July, October. So you protested for 5 hours over the last 7 months. That's it. Yay. Woohoo. Way to go, white people. Way to fight for democracy. That's privilege. And every time I talk about that, white people get all bent out of shape. Just like this. That's what No Kings is. It is. We woke up on a Saturday, protested, made signs, high-fived, danced, and then went home and did nothing for 3 months. I'm just keeping it 100, people. What needle did it move? Martin Luther King went to solitary confinement. John Lewis almost died for just crossing the bridge. Like, what are we willing to do? Because it sure seems like not a lot of anything. Oh, I can't go on a general strike. I can't afford to. You won't post on social media because you might make Uncle Bob upset. You won't talk to your friends about it because you don't want to jeopardize your friendships. What exactly, I guess that's my question. What exactly are you willing to do? Nothing. And I gotta log off here, but I'm gonna leave you with the quote. It was first God dang it. I don't know what's going on here. First they came for the black people, and I did not speak out because I was not black. Then they came for the immigrants, but I'm not an immigrant, so I didn't speak out. And then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me. That is the 2025 version of this speech. That's why we're still here. Because not enough people in my demographic that look like me are unwilling to have these conversations because they're worried about Uncle Bob. I get nasty stuff all the time. I get called the R word. I said, "Oh, you're just a capitalist because you're reaching out to the blacks. You love NIGGERS." I get it all the time. But you know what? You're either an ally or you're a fair weathered friend. I'm choosing to be all in. With great power comes great responsibility. And until more people who look like me have this conversation, then nothing's going to change. Yeah, Roy, I hope so. My brother is kind of a douchebag. Love my brother, but he's an idiot. He has 2 daughters, and he voted against their interests, and he only voted for this guy because of guns. He thought Harris was going to steal his guns, so he didn't care. And he works for the VA, and I'm surprised he didn't lose his job. Oh, thank you, Teresa. I appreciate that. Yeah, I made a video about John McCain. I voted for John McCain. I would have voted for Romney, but I thought that Obama did a damn good job his first term, so I voted for him. I voted across the whole aisle. I thought they were all decent people. But for me, if you're going to vote against a woman's rights, that's my red line. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear your reasoning. I don't give a damn what your opinion is. If you're not a woman, then you don't have an opinion. Don't tell me you believe in free will and you're going to tell a woman what to do with her body. It's none of your damn business. That is my red line. I will not vote for anybody that won't align with that. That's it. So, all right, my friends, I got to get going. I got to go to the gym. Have a good day. All right. Bye-bye.